box. All Might can box. Dever can box. So when you see like Shigaraki getting they tore up, that's when I get pissed off and say they can't fight. I am fully convinced that this massive hunk of beef and steak, alright, it was 3 scenes away from being your favorite character. Now, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes trying to explain and convince you that he wasn't an abusive father and that the family drama wasn't his fault, but I will mention that it's odd that Todoroki, for the most part, is unfazed by the way he was treated by his dad. But he's mad at him because of something his mother did. Real spill, I don't know how to word it, but it seems like Todoroki was more offended by Endeavor than actually angry at him for the shit he did. Not just like, bruh. Another tiny little thing about his home drama before we get into the video is, did anyone else think it's weird that he abandoned Dabi despite telling us, and I believe Todoroki, that Dabi burned harder than he does? Meaning that he has more fire potential than he does. And I mean, I know he couldn't control it, but he was like 9. The nigga was 9 years old. Of course he couldn't control it. Anyways, the real reason I feel like Endeavor takes the cake for the most hoed characters in My Hero Academia is he's never like properly showcased, and I feel like this is one where a lot of people are gonna disagree. So if you agree, you really gotta slide for me in the comments, because it's gonna be hard to get this video off. Nonetheless, let's get into it. All right, so like, it's kind of like the Vegeta effect. Like, damn, when is he gonna have his moment? Now, judging off my last few videos, I bet some of you are like, how the fuck is Endeavor not properly showcased? Well, let me explain. I said that like y'all what? So after All For One gets arrested, Endeavor becomes the #1 hero in Japan. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this is judged based on like missions completed. But nonetheless, he's the #1 hero. So it's implied that in theory, he's the strongest protagonist in the show, right? So in my opinion, there are several instances of Endeavor proving that he is in fact the strongest protagonist left in the show. Then it immediately gets negated, immediately just gets hoed, right? So the first instance of this happen is, we're in insert city name here, right? Nomu are putting belt to ass, and the show does a great job showing you how much damage these lower end Nomu can do, while also showing that the average hero doesn't stand a chance regardless of how high in the Nomu or how low it is. Anyways, so then the big boys come out, and they can handle the Nomu in a team or with a bit of a struggle, but for the most part they can handle them. But Endeavor shows up completely blitzing them. It's Uno reverse. He's the one with the belt now, all right? And I will mention that he's showing off at this point for Todoroki, albeit I can't remember if Todoroki is there at this moment or not. So at this point, it's obvious that current patch Nomu cannot mess with Endeavor, so he needs bigger fish to fry. And by the grace of God, he runs into the king fish, Hero Killer Stain, all right? Now, I went over this in my last video, so I'll spare the details, but Endeavor gets hold in this scene because not only does he not get to fight Stain, but he gets paralyzed by Stain's words, which from my perspective means he was scared, which sucks because it would have been really nice if they doubled down on showing us that Endeavor is not only a tier above the students, but the hero agencies as well. The second time Endeavor gets hold is his fight against the Hosu Nomu, and before you say he won this fight, hear me out. Alright, so the Nomu pulls up and gets insta-fucked, alright? In my opinion, fight should have been over right there. He pulled up, got blitzed, it's over, alright? Endeavor on top. Give him his brownie points. But, hey, there's 18 minutes left in the fucking episode. Show must go on. Okay, I understand. You're running a business here. So the Nomu regenerates, and I ain't gonna lie to you, this animation is fucking sick. In both ways. It's awesomely disturbing. Anyways, so the Nomu taunts Endeavor as if he didn't just fucking die. But anyways, you know what? At least they don't switch up, right? I admire that purple Nomu pulled up, blue-haired Nomu pull up, and they talk shit no matter the circumstances, even though the blue-haired one pisses me the fuck. Like, for real, bro had you looking like you went toe-to-toe with a mini Drake, and then you called him weak, bro. Insane. So they start boxing, right? And the Nomu goes for a grab attack, and I'm not gonna lie, them shits be getting me too. So Endeavor gets sent through a building, right? But he disengages. They go band for band off camera, and when we get back, Endeavor has mortally wounded this thing for the second time. Endeavor proceeds to obliterate a building for no obvious reason. It's implied that the Nomu was in the area of fact, but real shit, Why didn't he just fire punch the guy? Like, it's the fucking Avengers, the city is saved meme, bro. Hey, at least the animation was sexy. I mean, running a business here. Anyways, Endeavor has this nigga looking like a flying noodle. Like, genuinely, he is a flying noodle. And I don't know if I should count this as a third mortal wound or if it's still the second. Nonetheless, bro is cooked. So, they banter for a little, right? And then Endeavor unleashes a brutal attack, incinerates the guy. Now, pause. Right here. This is the moment. He did what he needed to do, right? I ain't even speak English there. He did what he needed to do. Give my dog his cookies. Give him his brownie points. He won. It's over. You covered your 10-minute threshold. Now you can get 8 minutes of cutscenes and character building bullshit. Okay, that's all we need. It's over, right? Right. So Endeavor gets hoed because the Nomu detaches his own head and stabs Endeavor. So homeboy catches second wind and comes out just throwing haymakers, right? He recovers for a bit. Eventually he chases down the Nomu, gives it the dragon fist. Paul gives it the dragon fist and it literally eats it. Eventually it flies in the air and whatnot, and then Endeavor burns him alive. What's crazy is the fire ends up killing him because he got burned alive, but he got burned alive like 2 or 3 times, dog. Why didn't he just die the first time? It's so inconsistent. Another small one is I don't understand how the coalition of Momo, Giganto Lady, and Endeavor didn't capture Giga Nigga. Eventually, Best Genus puts belt to ass, right? Although Giga Nigga breaks free, I feel like it shouldn't have gotten this far. Albeit, I Googled what happened to Gigantomachia, and oh my lord, bruh. But I genuinely feel like Endeavor uppercutting the shit out of Giga Nigga would have been a massive W, not only for him, right, taking out Giga Nigga, but for everyone that put in work during that fight, from Red Riot to Momo Yaoyorozu to goddamn Giganto Lady. Shit would have been fine, but it is what it is. Anyways, last but not least is his fight with Shigaraki, and it's the same argument as the Nomu, with the only exception being that there's no way Endeavor could win this fight. I mean, he shouldn't win this fight. It's just the way it happens doesn't resonate with me for real. Like from a show perspective and from a air quote, for lack of a better word, power scaling perspective, like Endeavor is not the main character and he's going up against the main antagonist of the show. So it's like 9 times out of 10 a side character isn't taking out the main antagonist, so it's just like that's not gonna happen. And then also in the situation, Shigaraki wants Deku, he wants Midoriya, so naturally he can't die to Endeavor because then the show just abruptly ends, right? You need a big final showdown, so there's no way that Endeavor could win this fight, albeit I feel like they've shown us more than enough that he actually can win the fight. And I'm not going to go over the fight because I'm going to do it in a video about Shigaraki, and there might have to be a third. Oh, I'm so sick of talking about this Shigaraki, but I'm getting this point. But real shit, they gave Endeavor a valiant, like a very impressive battle with Shigaraki, and then they just immediately hoe it. But if you want to know why I think Endeavor gets a hold in that fight, either watch the last video and just skip to the part where I talk to it, or wait for the next one. But anyways, besides that, I just feel like we could have gotten more out of Endeavor. I mean, albeit there's a better argument for Uraka, you know what I'm saying? Gravity Girl. I kind of go back and forth between the two because Uraka basically gets shelved, right? But she also is probably one of the best fighters in 1A. So it's like, you know, she should have been in the show more. And one thing that I will say in the next video that I'm going to squeeze into here real quick is like some people are disagreeing with me for the fight thing, and it's like one big thing that I just keep forgetting to say is that in the show they have good fight scenes. There are good fight scenes in My Hero Academia, so that's why when I see characters that can't fucking fight, I say they can't fight, because the show has shown us an ability to make fighting scenes. You know what I mean? Uraraka can box, Deku can box, All Might can box. Denver can box. So when you see bum ass niggas like Shigaraki getting their shit tore up, that's when I get pissed off and say they can't fucking fight. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Like, she can box. Why are you shelving her? Put her on the field. She could have, bro. I be getting on my nerves. I'm sorry. I got a little passionate there, but anyways, Endeavor, and if I had to describe him in a sentence, what the show does to him, it's kind of like the phrase $1 million move, 10-cent finish. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna try to work on that Shigaraki video. I'm gonna get that out, and then eventually I'll work on the next gaming one. I kind of just been switching between the two. Nonetheless, there's not much else to say. Hopefully I can meet you in that video or in the comments, but until then, remember, if you know man, because we know we up next, sponsored by Atari, and